Well, let's talk about your book, Cindy. It's called Put a Little Light in Your Life, a guide to sending and receiving positive energy. So tell us, what was your inspiration to write this book?
Well, the main inspiration for me was that I felt that I finally had to tell my true story, that I had received amazing amounts of beautiful messages from my higher self and from God. And this is really what my life has been about. It is the most important thing in my life, although I haven't talked about it a lot. When I was young, when I was 12 years old, my father died the day after Christmas, as a matter of fact. Wow. And I went up to the room because my mother was shouting and screaming, and I saw my father's body just laying there, and it was kind of strange because everyone was just trying to decide if he was dead or alive, you know, because he was just laying there. And something else kind of came over me. I didn't have a fear. I just kind of looked at him and I kind of saw that he wasn't breathing, and I said, no, he's dead. But there's that moment that you see a body and you kind of go, well, how can that body be there and the person you know and the spirit and the energy of that person not be there the next moment? It's a very strange thing as a young person to look at, and I was looking at it in a kind of, well, now what I called a soul-like detachment. And it was very interesting. I found out later that my father was a very, very mental man. He was a structural engineer, into higher calculus, didn't really believe in life after death. But after he died, he came to my mother. My mother told me he came to her in spirit and kissed her on the forehead and said, there is a forever. And that inspired my mother to go out and look at what was going on. Is there life after death? Is there a spirit? Does everything stop? Is it just the body? And she began classes in metaphysics, and I went with her. And I started meditating and reading, and for me it was like, well, literally the light bulb went on. It was like, wow, there's all this amazing side that you can, and thing you can tap into inside yourself. You can tap into your inner self. You can tap into spirit. And it was weird because I was going to Beverly Hills High School, but all I could do is write books about, you know, God and metaphysics, and I was really a big pain to a lot of people, and my teachers didn't get what I was doing. I was writing book reports on Alan Watts, and they're like, what are you doing? You know, I was like, didn't fit in with the scheme of things. But then when I was 15 years old, I had this experience where I literally was taken out of my body and left my body. I kind of felt and saw the world from an entirely new plane, a new dimension. I literally felt like I had left the earth behind. I went into what was almost like nothingness, where there was no thing, but there was this amazing infinite space. And then it was like my heart got ripped open by love. It was like this explosion of absolute contact with God. And then I realized that in this nothingness was absolutely everything. And I just can't put into words how powerful this experience of being this being of one with God was. It blew me away. And when I decided to come back, because I knew I had to kind of share this, that there was some reason to my life to do that. But at the time I was terribly shy. And I mean, I was really, really shy. So I came back and I decided to work in communications to learn how to get my message across. And every day when I meditate, I write down messages. I've been doing this all my life. I taught for a while in metaphysics, but then I decided from this experience that the most important thing you can really do is kind of what you do, Bob, and what a lot of people do with just the living of aloha. The most important thing you can do is just live that aloha, to be present with that light, to really do the best you can do in life, and share what's in you, which is that presence, that God presence in you, with other people. And that is the most difficult thing in the world to do.